Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. It's a little bit later than I'd originally thought I would be getting on with all of you to do sketch number 1 for our October 2022 Creative Memories Virtual Crop, but I am here and we are going to get at least the first sketch done tonight, and then I will get into some of the other sketches tomorrow. And let's go ahead and get going with it. Everything switched over here to the workshop, and here we go. For our first sketch, we are going to be using our Seaside Collection. I had asked in a quick short that I put up on YouTube a couple of days ago, what collections would you all like to see during the virtual crop? And Seaside was one of those selected. So that's what we're going to go ahead and use first. I have gone ahead and I will hold this closer. So if you want a screenshot of the measurements that I'm doing, hopefully you can see that and get that off of there. It looks like I have a slower internet tonight. I probably have kids on. What can I say? But we're still going to get this sketch done. And so I've pulled some sheets from our Tone on Tone paper pack. I went ahead and I just thought this was going to look gorgeous. This is the water sheet. So it has water on both sides. And I'm going to have the lighter side up as the base of my page. And then I've gone ahead and I pulled the sheet that has kind of the seagrass look on the back and the sandy side on the front. And I cut this piece to 6.5 inches by 12 inches. Let me get my sheet out of the way here. So this was 6.5 by 12 inches. And then what I did was I went ahead and I pulled out my decorative trimmer because I wanted the sand to have a little bit of movement to it. And I went ahead and I used our lesser wave blade here. And I just put it to this first full grid line is what I cut off from the 6.5 inches. And so on the wider part, it's still a little bit wider than 6 inches. On this more narrow part, it's a little bit less. But what I want to do is I'm going to put 3 pictures going across our page because I wanted to get 6 pictures onto this page if I could. I'm kind of challenging myself this virtual crop to get more pictures on the page coming up. And so I went ahead and I took, I believe this was one of my scraps from the last virtual crop where I used Seaside. And you can look that up on my YouTube channel to see which one that was. But I went ahead and I cut 3.5 by 4.5 mats for my other 3 photos. I'm going to have 3 4x6 running across this sandy area here. And then I also have cut a 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece for my journal box. And then I cut a little piece off of one of our index sheets at 2.5 by 3.5 to fit inside of here so I would have a place to write. So I'm going to go ahead and start by adhering my cover sheet, index sheet to my journal box here because this is actually going to tuck in underneath the sand. And so I kind of want it towards this bottom part and where it's bumping up a little bit. But I also have something else that's going to go in this bump up. So I want it closer to the bottom of the page. So I need to put it right here and I'm going to put my finger here so that way I don't forget where it needs to go. I'm going to add a little bit of just my regular tape runner, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it here right away so that way it's on here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my parchment board. So before I get these other 3 mats on, what I want to do is I'm flipping over my paper. My parchment board, if you haven't seen it already, it's a sturdy piece of cardboard with parchment paper on it held with electrical tape because electrical tape is one of the few things that will stick to parchment and we're not cooking with it. So honestly, it really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of our repositionable tape along our cut edge that we did on the decorative trimmer. And you're going to see what I'm going to do with this in just a moment here. Let me get this run through. And then I'm also going to add just a little bit of our actual regular tape runner kind of through the middle of our paper. So that way it'll stick nicely when we put it down. But I eyed this border sticker and I just thought this is going to be so much fun. We're going to try it. I've never tried this before. So why not try it on a live video? This is kind of what I do, I guess. Let me take the parchment board out. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it so our sticker will be sticking above our sandy area. And I need to try to get this lined up here. Let's hope that is going to work for me. Yes, that is exactly what I was hoping it would do. You can see where it's just sticking a little bit above. I kind of a little bit off this end, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now because I can always take my microtip scissors and just trim off that tiny end. It looks like it's less than 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and line this other one up here along because I want it to hit through the lower swell of the paper that we cut. There we go. Okay, so we're running across our other end. Okay, I got one. That one went a little bit too low, so I'm going to go ahead, and this is exactly why we used the repositionable tape. I'm just going to move it up just a little bit. Okay, get myself a little bit more lined up here. Where's our cut? There it is. Okay, so maybe not doing this quite so late might work out a little bit better for getting it lined up. I don't know. It's okay. Now I can see the blue through this end a little bit too much. I want it to come down just a hair. Okay, come on. Like I said, maybe not trying it on a live video for the first time might be the better way to go about doing this, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it, and that is the way it is. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Now we can see that coming across there. And I'm going to stick it down so it's over my journal box just a little bit. But I also need to make sure I have space up here for my mats to get framed out nicely as well. So we're going to be a little bit below that. And a little bit above the journal box. There we go. Okay. Whew. For a minute there, I wasn't sure if that was going to work out or not. It's like I see these things in my mind, but until I actually put them together, I'm not exactly sure how they're all going to work out. So let's go ahead and get our mats along the top of our page here. And I know y'all have talked or heard me talk before about how our sketches are kind of like recipes. They're guides. They're there for inspiration. And hopefully this is going to inspire you as well to come up with something unique for your sketch as well. And if you want to try it out like this, that's awesome. I would love to see that too. So let's go ahead and get this one down a little bit closer over here because I want to get this third one going the other way. Just that way we have a little bit of a different orientation on the page as well. It'll draw the eye up to this corner a little bit as well because we are kind of centering. You see we have our journal box down here and we have this other one more landscape up in this top left corner. And it draws the eye a little bit more. We have our border stickers. And I also have a embellishment as well that's going to fit over here in this bottom swell. And I have a sticker that we're going to add as our title as well. Because, of course, this page, we have a title over it. We're going to actually get our title in here. We've got an embellishment down here instead. So we did turn things a little bit and we added a little bit, but this is just the way the sketch spoke to me a bit. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with it. And I moved my foam squares. So let me grab another pack real quick here and get them open if I can find the seam on this thing. So that way I can use it for my, I don't think I need it necessarily for the embellishment. I think that sits low enough on the page that it's not going to interfere when I go to put the pictures on, but the sticker will. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out these foam squares and go ahead and we're going to get these put underneath our sticker. We have one that says sunshine and saltwater, and I love that it has just a little pop of red to it, which adds another color to our page. It draws a little more attention to our journal box, and then it will to our picture that we place down here as well. And I'm also going to get some repositionable tape on here. I'm going to use my parchment board again because it's got all these little, oh my goodness, strange shapes coming off of here with the sea stars and everything else in this little piece of driftwood. So I want to make sure it stays nicely on my page. And our repositionable tape is awesome because it actually sticks more as it stays on the page. So there we go. There it is. We're done. That was a pretty quick and hopefully easy page to put together. And I think the hardest part was getting that border sticker lined up. Let me grab my microchip scissors here real quick and grab off this little part that went over, because these scissors have the best coating on them. I love them. They never get gooped up no matter how many stickers or tape runner that I cut through. Super awesome. So here we go. I will hold it closer for you to see our page. And you can see our border sticker there and our embellishment journal box and sticker that we added our title with. Once again, our sketch. It inspired me that I wanted to put, instead of putting 4 pictures on the page, I just thought, let's jazz it up a little bit. Let's add a couple more pictures, because the whole idea is to get our memories in a book, to get our pictures on pages. And this way you should be able to get 3, 4 by 6. And if you decide you want to trim them down a little bit to show a little bit more of the sand, you can. And then you can also get 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 photos as well, because these boxes are 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. And it's usually you want to give at least 1/4 of an inch, kind of like what we did our journal box. We added 1/4 of an inch of a little bit of a frame, if you will, around it. So that is it for sketch number 1. I think that is going to be it for tonight. And I will see you all again tomorrow live on my channel. I also will be going live as well. I multi-stream, so you all will see me again. Until next time.